All right, everybody, welcome back. All right. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing another very boring and rehashed concept. We're going to do a tier list, but today we're going to be doing the TikTok, streetwear, Instagram reels, shoes don't exist in the real world tier list.
What?
Okay, we're gonna be talking about your distinguished and distinguished sneakers, everything you don't care about and everything you do care about because you don't have a life, but that's okay because we're in the same boat, you know, me and you together in the bad boat. All right, so today we're gonna have 3 tiers for these shoes. We're gonna have 3 tiers. Now, what I am going to say, all tiers are terrible. If you wear any shoes, any foot prisons, you're terrible. You're terrible just like these tiers. With that being said, we're gonna start with tier number 1, and that is the doing too much tier. This is the tier where those who wear the shoes in it, they are in fact doing too much for 100. And tier number 2 will be the gainfully employed tier. This is for my, my normal people, my, bots. There's nothing wrong with being a bot. Being a bot leads to stability and undegenerate behavior. And that leads us to our 3rd tier. Now, this is the tier that you really, really want to be in. And this is called the dungeon class. Throw some Vine booms in here. Dungeon class. Dungeon class. Dungeon class. Throw the key away. Close the gate. Throw them in the cellar. Okay? Okay, now with the classes being cleared up, we're gonna start with the most infamous shoe of the bunch. We're gonna talk about the Wheat Construction Timberland. The Wheat Construction Timberland is a shoe that I hate. I think it's disgusting. And I think it's a very sick in the head thing that happened with these shoes becoming really popular thanks to the likes of Lil Yachty. I thought I would never be saying that in 2024, that Lil Yachty would be the purveyor of what cool footwear is. And he should have never been. He should have never been. And these shoes are a clear example why. Because everyone who wears this shoe, this honestly is disgusting. It looks like people like RPing being a New Yorker. And as a native person from Brooklyn, as a Brooklyn native, I thought this was wrong and honestly just weird. It was weird. It was very 90s and very not brat. So with that being said, we're gonna be throwing anyone who wore reconstruction gyms in the dungeon class. Clap it up for all of the abusive Wheat Construction Tim wearers. Throw them where they belong. We're gonna be going to shoe number 2, and that is Adidas Sambas. Adidas Sambas are gonna be in the gainfully employed. I know some of you might be thinking that this should definitely go in the dungeon class, but I'm gonna say that it doesn't belong in the dungeon class. Why? Because I personally wear them, so I guess that's that. It's gonna be gainfully employed. Okay, now for the next shoe, we're gonna be, honestly, I'm not even gonna, let's bring them up. The Mason Margiela tabbies, okay? Now, this shoe has been around for many, many years, many eons, many moons, okay? And I think we all know this has to go in the doing too much class. Any shoe that makes you look like a Ninja Turtle has to go into doing too much class. I love Margiela tabbies, but it has to go into the doing too much class. There's not much else to even argue about that. It's again, nothing wrong with any of the classes, but where you belong is where you belong. On to the next shoe, we're gonna say Air Force One's dungeon class. We don't even need to talk about that. They're disgusting. For Air Force One still. Yeah, let's move on. All right, up. The next shoe we're gonna talk about, or footwear rather, are loafers. Now, some would say loafers belong in the gainfully employed. I disagree. I believe that loafers belong in the dungeon class. Hear me out. Now, I know there's a lot of you wearing loafers out there thinking like, look at me. I'm a different type of sassy fella. All right, but let me tell you something. Any shoe that gets way too many compliments from old white people, dungeon class. I'm sorry. If another mother looks at me again in my Camper Lab loafers and say, "Oh my gosh, I love those. Where did you get those?" I might burn those shoes. Next shoe, Miu Miu New Balances. We're kind of split here. This probably belongs in a doing too much class, but I'm actually gonna put it in the gainfully employed class because it's actually not that popular due to it being so limited, and it's tasteful. It's still sort of regular. I can't really putting in doing too much class, but I mean, if you spent that much money on New Balances, even though they're Miu Miu collab, that is definitely doing too much. But they do look very regular, so I have to justify my crime. So we're gonna put this in gainfully employed. Next shoe we're gonna do is a Nitsuka Tiger Mexico 66. It's a very long name, but gainfully employed. Very regular, nothing really to say about the shoe. It's the same thing as Adidas Sambas, but a little more different, spicy, whatever you want to call it. So they're just alternative Adidas Sambas. And for everyone wearing it, just know you're just being a little alt twink, but it's fine.
This is fine.
Rick Owens anything, doing too much. Doing too damn much. Any Rick Owens shoe, you're just doing too damn. Rick Owens anything, you're doing too damn much. So that's where that is. That's where you belong. That's that. Next shoe is gonna be the Mason Margiela replicas. Okay, Mason Margiela replicas, the GATs, as people call them, as I call them, because it sounded replicas sound like fake shoes, but you know, whatever. Is it a designer fake shoe? I digress. Not really a topic of the discussion. But I will say that these are definitely gainfully employed. These belong to gainfully employed tier. They're very regular. They're just fancier Adidas Sambas. They might be the gainfully employed. Next shoe. Next shoes, Birkenstock Arizonas. This might be honestly the most gainfully employed shoe. I love Birkenstock Arizonas. I don't know what it is, but put those on with some socks and a quirky pair of pants. It still does the trick. Some nice quilted socks, Birkenstock Arizonas. Any outfit, bussin'. It still hits. It still hits in 2024. After all these years, still hits. Still hits. And next, we're gonna probably put the New Balance 1906 Rs. I'm gonna put those in a dungeon class just for fun. Probably shouldn't be there, but like, you know, who cares? Who cares at this point? Just put it there. Do I have any rhyme or reason to anything I'm saying? No. Why would you expect that? And the only shoe you should probably ever wear is the Oakley Flesh sneakers. They honestly need to change that name. That it's a gross name of a shoe. But I love those shoes. Very underrated, not overworn, very tasteful. From a brand you wouldn't expect. You don't expect to see Oakley in the shoe game. But I love them. They're really nice shoes. Really great. All right. I'll probably spam tier list videos for a while because I need the views and I need the likes and the subscriptions. So like and subscribe. Goodbye.